Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection because perfection doesn't exist. And welcome back to another end of the month favorites and not so favorites. Now I'm doing these less and less now because I have a pretty good concept of what I'm gonna like now, but it's always more so favorites now. And let's talk about a possible future favorite and the sponsor of this segment of today's video, Beakman 1802. This is their Milk RX Better Aging Wrinkle Serum. So if you have sensitive skin, but you want to see results with your fine lines and wrinkles, then this new serum is apparently 4 times more potent than retinol and is so gentle that 100% of people said it caused 0 irritation. Now, I wouldn't usually believe these types of claims, but it's Beakman 1802, and I'm going to show you some very good before and afters in a minute. But the Milk RX Better Aging Wrinkle Serum from Beakman 1802, I feel like I've said that so many times, is a clinically proven 2-in-1 serum that smooths wrinkles and pretty much reboosts the brightness of your skin, kind of restoring that dewy glow, resilience, energy back into your skin. But how is it going to do all that? Well, of course, being Beakman 1802, there is goat milk exosomes in here, and these are like microscopic little carriers that deliver signals into the skin, helping to repair and strengthen the skin barrier. And unlike retinol, they work with sensitive skin rather than against it. We also have liquid collagen in here, which is a nice humectant. It's going to restore that bounciness back to your skin. And then a stabilized form of vitamin C to brighten and even out skin tone without the typical irritation that some people may get from vitamin C, as I said, made for sensitive skin. So I promised before and afters, here we go. This is what makes me believe Beakman 1802. So in their clinical studies, they say that 83% saw fine lines and wrinkles become less visible, 86% saw overall skin improvement, and 100% said it was gentle enough for daily use. I know retinol isn't for everyone, tretinoin isn't for everyone, but there are alternatives. And judging by Beakman 1802's clinicals and those before and after pictures, this could be a very, very good option. You can now get this at Ulta or on Beakman1802.com. And thank you to Beakman 1802 for sponsoring this segment of today's video. I will, of course, link everything in the description box down below. I had a power cut, so it's the next day. I took it as a sign to stop, to stop filming. I had a power cut, I had a haircut. It's the next day. Apologies. I have my unboxing channel background up. Ignore it. What was I talking about? I was talking about the Aqua Squalane Moisturizing Cream from S.NATURE. I really thought this was going to be such a bland moisturizer. It looked like one of those ones that you just use when your skin's in like having a bit of an issue, having a bit of a time. And it kind of reminded me of that, what's that cream called that all the makeup artists were saying like, oh, it makes a great primer. And then you look at it and it's so basic, but it's, you know, it's a moisturizer. It's going to do the job. That's what I thought this one would be. But this is such a good all-rounder for dry, oily, combination, easy, sensitized skin like mine, really with a big focus on hydration and barrier support. And like the star of the formula is that Squalane, 150,000 ppm of Squalane. So it's this lightweight skin identical lipid, as we all know, that helps restore the skin barrier, lock in all that moisture, and also gives this smooth to your skin too. And over time, you just get this real nice suppleness from the moisturizer, and your skin looks softer, and it just has this overall healthier finish to it. Another key ingredient in here is a Capsule, which is a patented complex of glucose and xylitol, and it's often described as like a moisture magnet. We know that's not how humectants work, but these kind of like sugary humectants they supposedly hold onto a lot more water. But a Capsule also improves the water circulation within the skin itself and helps reduce transepidermal water loss kind of at the root. And we're seeing this ingredient in a shit ton of Korean skincare. One of my favorite brands that has it in is the Boring Without You, one of their serums, like Make It Wet serum or something. It's incredible. I do feel, so I've got a dog hair or something. I do find it a lot more hydrating, like that feeling of hydration, as opposed to hyaluronic acid, which is like the standard. You just get this skin that feels more hydrated for longer with a plumper and kind of more radiant look. But we do also, of course, have hyaluronic acid in here too. Same with hyaluronate, hydrolyzed hyaluronic acid, and sodium hyaluronate cross polymer. So all the usual kind of different molecular weights of hyaluronic acid that are supposedly meant to help plump from deeper within the layers, right? It's just been such a nice, think of like, you know, what a moisturizer needs to do. Add a little bit more skin benefits, then add more. You know, it's kind of like a moisturizer that just goes out of its way to be more than a moisturizer, with all these really up-to-date modern ingredients that are truly beneficial for the skin. It kind of feels like a thick cream. It reminds me of the Beakman 1802 Bloom Cream. But yeah, I love it. I've bought so many of these. I stocked up when I went to Olive Young, just because I don't want to be without it. Speaking of moisturizers, I don't want to be without the PDRN Capsule Cream 100 from VT. And this is one of those very gimmicky looking capsule creams, right? You have your clear moisturizer, a very light gel cream, not even gel cream, it's a gel. Then suspended in that, you have all these like capsules, which is usually the PDRN or the core ingredient. I know medicube do a vitamin C one, but here it's vegan PDRN. And altogether, this has some really nice, lightweight, quenching hydration and moisturization, barrier supporting as well, and kind of like just skin restoring actives. So in here, we have what VT are calling their phyto PDRN, and this is a ginseng derived form of PDRN, which we know isn't going to be PDRN, but they use these buzzwords, right, to kind of let you know what the ingredient is intended to do. So we know that PDRN is supposed to help with cell turnover, boost elasticity, revive kind of like dull, fatigued looking skin. It's an antioxidant with the ginseng in here. The studies are still new, but I personally like PDRN for plumping and repairing. So we know by PDRN, that's what they mean this ingredient is supposed to do. They need to be careful though, because they might get a lawsuit, as we know from the vegan collagen situation. People need a bit more clarity. But also in here we have ceramides as well, so supporting the skin barrier, preventing any moisture loss that we get from this. Then of course, again, we have those 10 different types of hyaluronic acid that are in everything, with the low, medium and normal molecular weights of hyaluronic acid to help penetrate a little bit. When brands say about collagen and hyaluronic acid that they penetrate the skin, it's because the humectants usually sit on top of the skin, right? So they're not saying it goes deep, deep down where needles would get. What they mean is it's going slightly lower. We're not quite getting to the dermis, but it can still penetrate a little bit lower, further plumping out that skin. But yeah, humectants don't need to get that deep into the skin. They're meant to sit on the surface and plump and retain. Oh, did I mention these moisturizers used to make me feel sick? Like I don't like holes in things, and this kind of gave me that kind of vibe as well. I also don't like sunflowers. They make me feel a bit sick. But like using it and really looking at it, I learned to love it. It's just so nourishing and leaves the skin feeling so soft and dewy and hydrated. It perfectly gets that fine line between moisturized and hydrated, which are kind of the same thing, but I feel like you could feel that water content and you can feel that like moisture on top. What I love about these creams is you can pick a certain amount of the capsules versus the clear gel, depending on how you're feeling. So in the morning, I will use one little PDRN capsule, one little bit of like the gel cream, get an even amount. In the evening, I'm taking more the PDRN capsule versus the gel cream. So I get more of kind of like an overnight mask type feeling with this in the evening. I absolutely love it. I will say VT have really kind of reignited my love for not just Korean skincare, but skincare innovation over the last year or so. Speaking of PDRN, we have the PDRN Hyaluronic Acid Capsule 100 Serum from Anua. And this is a hydrating, barrier strengthening serum that kind of combines the clinical inspired PDRN with this ultralight, almost toner type texture of a serum, really just for deep hydration. I do use this as a toner in the toner stage. Of course, we have that PDRN again, really here, it's just a super hydrating, plumping ingredient that I personally, my skin personally enjoys a lot more than your average humectant. Again, lower molecular weight, so it can penetrate just that little bit more. We don't have 10 types of hyaluronic acid, we have 11 types of hyaluronic acid with those different molecular weights as well, along with collagen as well. So we really are getting like every kind of star buzzword humectant in here that really does do an amazing job at plumping the skin. And that's why I kind of use this as a toner, because I want this to hydrate my skin. I want it to plump up my skin. I want it to kind of like revive those dry cheeks that I have. And it does such an amazing job at this. Somebody who I follow, I think another skincare content creator, mentioned that they find this a little bit oily, but I kind of understood it after after that comment. I looked at it and it reminds me of those Klairs like watery oil drops, but a little less oily. So it does leave this kind of like slip on your skin that honestly I don't mind at all. It's not oily or thick or anything. It's just like a nice kind of, it feels like it's locking everything in. We also have glutathione in here, which is a brightening antioxidant, as well as like turmeric, eggplant extract, and basil. I want to say basil, like holy basil or something, which apparently calms the skin. All I know that this is one of my favorite hydrating products. I wish this was in a toner bottle. This is one I can't talk much about because I don't know much about it, but this is Glow Recipe's new mucin. Their website says, is Glow Recipe launching a cruelty-free stale mucin? Yes, I presume so. I hope so. As you can see, it's very well used. I'm using it nearly every single day. And this really reminds me of why I love the BHA PHA Pore Tight Toner. It's that stringy, cactusy smelling, cucumbery smelling hydration that just feels thick but light at the same time. Do you know what it reminds me of? And this is such a niche comparison, but is it in Bug's Life where they're drinking the dewdrops? They're in like a bar and they're drinking the dewdrops with a straw. I ever since I was a child, I wanted to feel that. I wanted to drink that and feel that hydration and that quenching. I always use the word quenching, but I want to feel that quench. And I feel like this gives me the satisfaction of that. That's not going to mean anything to anyone. I'm so sorry. But I've been using this purely after a toner, before a treatment serum, just to give my skin that extra hydration. And I love it. It's got that stringiness of a mucin and kind of the stringiness of the Pore Tight Toner. I like it. I like it a lot. I can't say much about it though because it's new. They've not released any ingredient information. So yeah. Now let's move on to the shit. And it's not really a shit, but it's definitely overhyped. This is the Zero Pore One Day Serum from Medicube. And this is like a concentrated exfoliating treatment, which is designed to do all the things you'd expect an exfoliant to do. Refine uneven texture, decongest pores, improve the look of large pores, all that kind of stuff. Improve skin's moisture balance, right? And in here we have a 15.2 blend of AHA, BHA, and PHA, and they call this a professional strength concentration for at-home use. So for the AHA, we have glycolic acid and lactic acid, which really does help with that kind of like surface level roughness and texture. BHA in the form of salicylic acid to help with the pores, dissolve excess sebum, congestion, and PHA as well in the form of gluconolactone, which is that kind of gentler AHA, but also drawing in hydration. So really is a really nice blend of three acids. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It does what an exfoliant is going to do, but the buzz created around it on TikTok, unsurprisingly, is just too much. Like, it's nice. Like, it's fine. It does what it says it's going to do, but it's just a chemical exfoliant. There's niacinamide in there. Unsurprisingly, it's in everything. It's like it's going to exfoliate. I do think it's very easy to overuse because it comes in this serum form, in this kind of like what feels like more like just a hydrating serum with all, again, those molecular weights of hyaluronic acid, allantoin to help calm and soothe. And because of that, as I mentioned, as I was saying, it's easy to overuse because it doesn't feel like you're using a chemical exfoliation. It feels soothing and hydrating. Centella asiatica too. So it is going to make a nice couple times a week exfoliant, but I wouldn't rush out and buy it if you've already got an exfoliant you're gonna love, you know? I don't know, I just found it very overhyped, but I do find that with most Medicube products, to be completely honest with you. But let me know what you think about these products. Is my least favorite your favorite? Are some of my favorites your least favorite? Let me know. And again, thank you to Beakman 1802 for sponsoring a segment of today's video. Everything will be linked in the description box down below. That's it. You can watch some more product reviews here and some general light entertainment here, and I'll see you over there.